But before, I never really thought about it. But yeah, sometimes I would see the ads on TV about the dogs that being mistreated, but I really never took it into consideration. But then when I saw it in front of my own eyes, then I realized how big of a deal it was. In my neighborhood, there were two dogs. I believe they were from the same litter, and one of them got stoned while I was waiting for animal control to come. So eventually, Ocean Acres did come for the dog. When I found out about Ocean Acres and I found out the work they were doing here, I decided that I wanted to come and work here. So that's why I volunteer here.
People want animals and they like animals, and then they can't afford them anymore, or they lose their job or anything like that, and they can't pay for them, they can't get their pet fees or wherever vet they go to or anything like that. They would get ticks, fleas, and they would get sick in general. And then people would stone them, people would put them down, people would just let them be stray.
When you see people mistreating animals, it makes you call into question how they react to other people. In society, animals play a vital role in terms of giving people a sense of understanding and appreciation. Because I believe that for instance, if children are exposed to taking care of animals from like a very young age, it gives them a sense of responsibility and appreciation for other forms of life.
As you know, there's a huge animal cruelty issue here, and that's why these places have to step in. A lot of animals are surrendered for various reasons, especially right now. I think it's even more important because as much as people love their animals, sometimes they can't afford them right now. And I think at a young age, it's important that children are taught how to look after animals, because sometimes it's just lack of education more than a bad-minded action, which also happens. But yeah, I think it's just knowing how to care for animals, and I think these kind of organizations can help through the volunteer work and so on to educate the younger generation as well with these aspects.
It's very important to involve the youth in the fight, because that's the future generation, of course. And I think you can see a lot of promise there, that they are growing up with a set of different ideals. It's a different time, isn't it? We have evolved, we have moved on, and I would like to think that we could be a more compassionate society. I think a lot of the children are feeling that, but then there are also groups of children, youths, who don't, because we hear some bad things that happen. This is not for the faint-hearted. This is not nice stuff. It's not just about dogs and cats and fluffy kittens, etc. The things that we hear are people. It's about people doing bad things. And it's not, for whatever reason, as I say, it's not always addressed.
How would you feel if it was you being hurt? How would you feel if someone was neglecting you like that, starving you like that, beating you like that? You wouldn't enjoy it very much, would you?
What you are doing is wrong. The same way you wouldn't want to be treated that way, why would you treat an animal that way? It's just wrong. If I was to come and do what you do to this animal to you, I don't think you would like it. And obviously I would get in trouble, but why you don't get in trouble for doing this to the dog?
Certainly our enforcement of our animal laws is a first step. Also, it's really great to see that the Ministry of Education is now looking at, considering to have animal welfare classes taught as part of the school curriculum. I think that's a really big step as well. The other thing I'd like to see is people's attitudes just change, for people to recognise that animals are sentient beings, and as such they have feelings, and we have a responsibility just to care for them, to make sure we provide water, food, adequate food as well, shelter for them, and that we interact with them, particularly dogs. Dogs are social animals, and like human companionship, like interacting with us.
So right now I have an animal cruelty campaign for animal rights named SAC, Stop Animal Cruelty. And what right now what we want to do is spay probably 5 cats and 5 dogs, and that would slow down the stray dog population, which would also probably help with the animal cruelty.
Just help us if you can. Help us, help the other sanctuaries, help an animal if you see it, lost, you know, struggling, stop, call somebody. Don't just pass by. Don't let's be a society where we just walk past things, step over things, ignore things. I know the situation in Barbados is that everybody pretty much who likes dogs has already got several. If you can possibly take another one, now is the time. If you could foster one for a while, now is the time. If you've never had a dog and you think you could maybe have one, it's a good time to do that.
You need to stop putting down animals, you need to stop unnecessary breeding, you need to stop getting animals that you can't take care of them anymore and not putting them in a shelter like Ocean Acres or anything like that. And then they're just stray, get hit by cars, run over, anything like that, and then their life is ended just like that. If you want a dog, make sure that you can take care of it all along, and then if you can't take care of it anymore, make sure it gets a good home.
You need to support these organizations because they're not only helping animals, they're also helping the community get better, and we need to get better ourselves personality-wise, and with everything we need to change our attitude towards the way we look at animals.
So why don't you come and help out with them? Show them some love, like this dog that's spitting on me all the time.